Stop it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Just save your applause till the end. Hi everyone, my name is Summer and welcome to Summer Says. Well, we might as well get cozy. I would love to introduce myself. My name is Summer. Welcome. I am currently living in Australia, living in this camper van on and off for the past 4 years, and I'm 24 years old. Did I get the job interview? Always talking about myself. I feel like I'm in a job interview or some type of interview where I have to talk about me. I'm like, I'm 24, I'm an Australian, and I live in a van, and I love to chit chat, so I'm excited to start this episode. Starting something, anything, always tends to scare me and put me into a place where I can live an illusion with myself, and I have to tell myself that I have to do all these things and then I'll be ready. Then I'll do all these things and then I'll be ready. And then months go by and I haven't even tried it. I haven't even given myself a chance. So I'm trying to switch my perspective on what it's like to begin something, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in our own mental confusion and we think that's the right way. At least I thought I was like, oh, I'll feel ready to do this one day. But when you really think about it, doing something that is so out of your comfort zone and so different to what you're used to doing or being, it's probably never going to feel comfortable, and you just kind of have to go through it to create a new version of yourself. At least that's what I'm learning to do. I'm learning to continue to break down my own walls and my own barriers to free myself, because it's so easy to get so trapped in ourselves and convince ourselves that it's okay to be like that, if that makes sense. I can refer this into fashion. You know, it's so easy to follow trends, and I remember I used to love following trends and what to wear and what everyone else was wearing, but when I decided to wear what I actually enjoyed, which was maybe a little bit different, it did scare me, and I would question myself, and even though I'd still do it anyway, I know that in those moments I felt uncomfortable to express myself differently, but over time it felt empowering. So I'm trying to use that method for other areas of my life, with more dreams, whether it's who I am as a person, how I want to express. I feel like it mostly boils down to how I want to express, and I don't want to be limiting myself in how I express because of maybe perfectionism, because of judgment, because of fear of what other people will think. I want to break free from it, and I notice that if I do stuff that makes me really uncomfortable and then I get comfortable afterwards, I feel so much more freer because I'm not going down these mental loops and spirals within myself. A perspective that really helped me shift out of perfectionism is realizing that all of what I create isn't going to be extraordinary. And all of what I create some of it's probably going to be really shit, and some of it's going to be alright, and some of it's going to be pretty good, and there'll be some of it that'll be like, wow, I'm super, super happy with that. And to expect the extraordinary every time we create and to only share what we think is extraordinary is very limiting and almost crushing to our own ability to just freely create and express. And when I look at what I love authentic people just sharing their process, even though it's not perfect, even if they stumble their words. I appreciate that beauty, so why don't I share that? I share myself growing, and I share myself trying. And that's what I want to continue to do, is just try. Try in my new hobbies, try in life, even if it's not great. And I'm learning to be okay with being shit at things. Learning to be okay with being a noob when you first start something. Because it's so beautiful to see yourself grow in that. So bringing the perspective with me that I'll just get comfortable as I go. And that when we start something new, we have to kind of mother ourselves and be like, it's okay. Next time we'll try this, and next time we'll try that. And I was very limited to like, I want to be amazing and great when I first start. And that just stops me from starting anything, because maybe I'm not happy with it. Maybe I'm not naturally gifted with it. With some things we are. And I don't want to look down the track and be, oh damn, I didn't try any of those things because I didn't like the outcome. That's not how I want to live my life. I want to continue to try and get better and laugh at myself and at least try. I feel like I can also get tunnel vision. Maybe some of you can experience this too. There's tunnel vision with what we create. And we can get so focused in on what we're doing that we forget to see the bigger picture of it all. That what we do is simply a stepping stone to where we want to be. And it's just a resume or a montage or a collection of memories that will grow us into who we are. I wrote down, I said, seeing the process in a different perspective. What a joy to look back and see what I've created in my 20s and 30s. Instead of having tunnel vision, putting so much pressure on what I've created, it's allowed me to enjoy the unfolding and the birthing. The realization that when I'm 90, I probably won't care if I stuttered my words, if people judged me. I will only see the beauty that is my 24-year-old self doing what she enjoys, that she tried. In the end, all I want to do is try. The pain of wishing I did more is way heavier than the embarrassment of doing a lot now. Go do a lot. Go do a lot and make a fool of yourself. Be embarrassed. Be silly, laugh at yourself. Don't let yourself be controlled by these feelings, because they can feel overwhelming. Embarrassment is something that has deterred me from trying a lot of things because I'm embarrassed to be bad, and I compare myself to other people who are doing really good without putting into perspective, hey, they've been doing it for a lot longer, and hey, it's okay if they are naturally more gifted, because I can still learn and grow with that. I've noticed that it's about, for myself anyway, redirecting our thoughts rather than spiraling and like, oh, I'm not good, oh, I'll try again tomorrow, oh, I'm tired, or I'm this. There's so much resilience and power in pushing through anyway. And it's allowed me to not be controlled by my emotions as well. That's a huge thing. Like, feel them. Sometimes they can be used as a guidance system with like intuition, and they can protect us. But you kind of have to have like a bird's eye view of yourself to not get lost. I notice I have to take a step back and tap myself on the shoulder and be like, hey, what are you doing here? You're judging yourself right now. Let it go and continue forward. And even when I go back to my fashion statement, I've worn stuff and I've walked around, and maybe for half the day I felt embarrassed and I felt ashamed, and I would overthink when people would look at me, and I had to just go through that. I had to go through that because the act of going and getting changed, I'm telling myself that I should feel ashamed of myself, of my expression, and I should hide my expression. And I don't want to tell myself that. I want to tell myself that I can do it, and that at the end of the day, it's just you. It's just you and your experience. You can have friends and family all around you, but at the end of the day, it really is just you. So just have fun with it. That's what I remind myself. I'm like, just have fun. Laugh it off. Especially when I look back on videos and photos of myself, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so little and beautiful, and I'm trying, and I only ever wish that I did more. Because I will never be this age again. We'll never be this age talking about our experience. We'll never be at this point of our life again. So I'm trying to enjoy it all. But there's definitely some processes. I'm wanting to grow more confidence, because confidence is something that allows us to excel in so many aspects of our lives if we embody confidence. And to be in the perspective that, hey, when I'm 90, I won't care how much money I spend. I won't care how people thought of me. I won't care if I lost friends. I won't care about all these things that I think I care about. I will only care that I did what I wanted to do, and I lived how I wanted to live. And I want to talk about the feeling of embarrassment and feeling ashamed, and where does that come from? I wonder this. It could relate to an experience we've had. It could be when we were in school. It could be friend groups that we've had that have told us that our expression shouldn't, like, to quiet down, that we should feel embarrassed of ourselves, and that maybe we shared something creatively and it just wasn't wasn't appreciated. At least I felt like I was a very sensitive kid, and I've had to learn to grow more of a thick skin because I can't let my sensitivities take over. And it's a beautiful thing to feel, but I can't let everyone's opinion affect me. And that's what I felt like I was letting. I was letting my friends' opinions affect me, my family's, society's, and I had to grow a skin and be like, no, I'm doing this for myself, and I'm going to protect myself because these are my dreams and these are my passions. And if anyone's going to have my back, it has to be me. So feeling embarrassed or ashamed is as part of the process, I realize, and I'm like, God damn it, I have to jump through these feelings in order to feel confident. I have to jump through it and tell myself I am not ashamed of myself and I am not embarrassed of myself. And it's so uncomfortable, my goodness. Shame and embarrassment it's like inside you're just having all these thoughts and you just have to do it anyway. At least that's what I feel. And to be able to see that shame and embarrassment is part of the process of doing something new, doing something scary, it allowed me to not use it as a guidance system. I was kind of using it as like, oh, I'm not happy with what I've done and I'll do it when I actually feel happy with it. So when I really tap into that, I'll probably never feel happy with it because I'm always going to continue to feel embarrassed or ashamed. So I just have to post it. I have to be seen. I have to say it. I have to do it and kind of break those chains and break those shackles that we have, that we have inside us. I want to tell myself that I can do it and that I can believe in myself, that I'm not ashamed or embarrassed. I don't want to continue to repeat the cycle. I can even feel this with friend groups. They can have a certain opinion about something and it can be hard to voice your own opinion because it can be received differently. But the more we practice our expression, I've noticed, it can be hard because it'll realign us with who is actually meant to be in our life, but the more we continue to say what we want and to voice what we want, those embarrassment and those feelings turn into empowerment because we're not hiding away anymore. You don't want to be living your life through your emotions and your thoughts. You want to use them as a guidance system and not to be like, oh, I feel this way, so I'm going to hide away. We just have to learn to shake it off and stay resilient. Continue to shake it off and stay resilient, and continue to shake it off and stay resilient, because fear is a part of life, and to feel it and to go through it, you do embody more confidence. And throughout my weeks, I would feel these dreams come up. This little kid being like, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. And then I can be bombarded with other thoughts that say you aren't ready and tell me why I'm not ready. And that isn't who I want to be anymore. I want to continue to always try and be open. And I want to be able to rewrite my story, change it, redirect it, to shake it off and stay resilient. To see the bigger picture, I always had to tap myself on the shoulder and take a little step back. And it just takes practice. We've practiced being like this. We've practiced playing small. We've practiced not using our voice. We've practiced certain ways of being. And now I want to pave the way for confidence. I don't want to be living in shame or insecurities or playing small. I want to own who I am and own what I love. Because the longer I put this off, the more lost I kind of feel within myself. And I was feeling lost. I was feeling lost in what I loved and what I enjoyed and who I was. Who was I? Who is Summer? Who is this person? And who we are, I realize, is a mirage and a mix of what we love to enjoy, and whether it's the music taste we like, the fashion, our opinions, it's what feels good for us. And if we don't do what feels good for us, we are hiding. And I don't want to be in shame anymore. And I want to be able to practice being loud and proud and practice using my voice. I don't want to be living in my own box. I want to be able to create my own box and live in a way that scares everyone off. scare people off, scare them off, and it'll welcome all new people as well. I noticed when I started to embody more of what I like and what I enjoy, I had to let some people go because I realized we're just not aligned in that way. And being around a good group of people is so important. It's like nothing personal. It's just some people aren't a good friend for you. It's like they're not a bad person, they're just not a good friend for you. And I did hang around people that, for example, wouldn't see social media and cameras and videos in the same way. And they would see it as you're not living in the moment. And I love these people so much, and I was too afraid to be like, no, I actually love it, I actually enjoy it, and embrace that side of me. And so I had to step away and hang out with people that actually do have similar enjoyments and that do support me in this. And that's very important. We want to be surrounded by people that do support us and that do see us for who we are and don't make us feel silly for what we love. And that's the beauty of socializing, is we get to meet so many different people, but we have to learn not to, at least for myself, we have to learn not to take on everything that they love and enjoy. We can learn so much through each other, and we learn what we like and what we enjoy. And I've noticed that if I don't continue to do what I love and enjoy and embrace that and say it and embody that, I started to feel lost within friendships and lost within myself and lost with who I was because I didn't have a solid sense of self. And for a while I was denying myself of what I loved, which is videos and photos. And now that I've started to embody it more, there's still days where I feel really embarrassed and shy and stupid and all these thoughts and feelings, but I know deep down there's this part of me that is so happy to not be controlled by these feelings anymore. And that I can feel slowly it's feeling more empowered and more empowered. So just practice who you want to be. Like, we've just been practicing ourselves. Practice confidence. It might feel silly, but really fake it till you make it. Because the person you are is just an act. It is. We all have morals and we all have enjoyments and what we like and what we don't like, and that's what makes us different. But we can all embody confidence. We can all... confidence is the only word that comes to me right now, but we can practice different mindsets. We can practice different ways of being. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I've said practice and confidence like 30,000 times. And it's up to you. It's up to me to believe in myself. It's up to you to stick to yourself. And it's up to us to stay dedicated to ourselves. And I've noticed that when I've started to dedicate time and love and energy into what I love and what I enjoy, it's allowed me to feel so much more freer and not caring about what people think and saying what I want. And it's a new type of embodiment almost. And I know that my people will come naturally because they'll know who I am and they'll know what I enjoy. I've witnessed the journey coming back to myself and what I enjoy and what I'm passionate about. Meant I had to constantly prove myself wrong. I had to prove myself wrong. It's almost like this mental battle where when you're doing something that you've been wanting to do for a while, your mind's like, but no, you're not ready. You can't do it because of this, and this. And oh, look, people are looking at you funny. And you go down this rabbit hole within yourself, and you kind of have to talk to yourself and talk back to yourself. And I would switch my perspective and say, well, nothing that I love to do is embarrassing. And why is it embarrassing to be myself? Like, really question yourself and question where these thoughts come from, and you'll watch how they kind of diminish and they kind of disappear. Well, I feel like this is all I have to share for my first ever podcast episode. Just start it. Just do it. Do it scared. Do it tired. Do it even if you look at it and you think that's absolute dog shit. It's the process. Pave the way. Step by step. You can continue to prove yourself wrong. And then eventually you'll do it and it'll feel like second nature. And you'll feel yourself feel so much more enriched and nourished. You just kind of have to get through the murky parts first, you know? We've just been playing this character that isn't in alignment with us anymore. And I'm so excited to break free and to not be held bound and held down from who I thought I was or who I think I am. There's no need to wait. You don't need months. You can start right now. It's just you and your dreams at the end of the day. Your people will continue to come and go, but please just stay dedicated to you. Oh, this is exciting. Well, I've just finished my first podcast episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of it. I'm excited to learn and grow with this podcast and see where it goes. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next week.